Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I'm your English teacher Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well. You are healthy, you're fit. Now, welcome to English grade 11, my dear learners. Now, as you know that we are dealing with our unit number 2. We have covered all the SLOs of different competencies from unit 1. And now again, we are dealing with some SLOs in the same way. First, we are dealing with grammar and vocabulary, then reading, then we are dealing with oral communication, and finally, the writing competency. So, brace yourselves for today's lesson. This is very important. It is about grammar. My dear learners, am I audible? Can you hear me loud and clear, students? Good. So, I need you to be very much attentive for this lesson. Both students who are over here and who have joined us online. This is very important. Let's read our students' learning outcome. Now, from the book, this is our unit number 2, and this is our lecture about identifying and using adjectival, prepositional, and adverbial phrases. Now, what do we understand by that? It means that phrases, which we already know what they are, if not, we can revise it, they have different kinds, different types. So we need to see these types: adjectival, prepositional, and adverbial phrases. These are your parts of speech. When they are interacting with different group of words, they become phrases. They act like a phrase. But the head noun, the main verb, the head, and the head word will be adjective here. It will be preposition over here, and it will be adverb over here. So it means we are connecting the parts of speech like adverb, adjective, and preposition with different groups of words, and we are making them collaborate with phrases, and we are calling them adverbial phrases, adjectival phrases, and prepositional phrases. So this is our student learning outcome. We need to see all these 3 different types of phrases, and we will see them in different examples. Now, here is a vertical linkage. The same SLO was addressed in grade 10. Let's start with phrase. Students, are you aware of what a phrase is? All right. Okay, let's see. First, we will see the definition of phrase, then adjective, and then we will see adjectival phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrases. We will see that how we can make these phrases on our own. Now, a phrase, my dear learners, if you remember, it's very easy. You have been learning it from a long time. Such a group of words which make complete sense, which make sense, but do not make complete sense. So, these group of words, when they are treated as one, they are making sense but not complete sense. These are just your phrases. Let's see. Let's see how the Cambridge Dictionary defines a phrase. Very important, you can memorize this. A phrase is defined as a group of words that is part of rather than the whole of a sentence. It means that in a sentence there are some group of words, but when we are taking them on their own, they do not make complete sense. It means they are phrases. So let's look at these examples over here. The nice neighbor, my best friend, troops of soldiers. These are your phrases. 1, 2, 3, 3 words. It means it's a group of words, and it is giving you a sense. A nice neighbor, it means that the neighbor is nice, but it's not giving you complete information. So these are your examples of phrases. Now, before moving on to first adjectival phrase, let's see what an adjective is. I hope that you have already learned it. I just need you to revise it a little bit with me. Let's see. Adjective is a part of speech, and what does it do is it's a part of speech that can be used to describe or provide more information. Describe and provide more information about a noun or pronoun that acts as the subject in a sentence. So, what is it describing, or what is it giving information about? It is giving information about, and it is describing our nouns and pronouns. And those nouns and pronouns, they are, when they are used in subject, when they are used as a subject in a sentence. You know what is a subject? Subject is the doer of the action. So, in this way, all those words that are describing the noun, that is giving more information about the noun, it is called our adjective. Let's see. So when we are combining these words, these adjectives with different words, they become an adjectival phrase or adjective phrase. Now, an adjective phrase is a phrase that functions just like an adjective. The adjective phrase is functioning as an adjective. An adjective is the head word of the phrase. So adjective is the head word. In adverbial phrase, the adverb is the head word, and in prepositional phrase, preposition is the head word of that phrase. Now, it's a group of words that are put together in order to qualify the noun or pronoun that acts as the subject or object of a sentence. So it means that it can be used both as a subject and as an object. It is also referred to as an adjectival phrase. We can call it adjectival phrase or adjective phrase. So what do we understand by this? Now, when we are putting these words together, they are actually giving us some quality of our noun or pronoun. And it can give a quality about our subject who is doing the action and our object on which the action is being done. So it can be used as both subject and object. This is the purpose of using an adjectival phrase. Let's look at an example over here. Cats from the alleys control the mice. Now, this is a sentence, but we can see an adjectival phrase in here. Can you spot that adjectival phrase? Students? Yes. Let's see. Here, from the alleys, this is a phrase, from the alleys. Now, it's a group of words, it's acting as a phrase, not giving complete sense, but it does make some kind of sense. And here, this phrase is being used as an adjective. Why and how? Let's see. Where is our noun? Cats is a noun. So this part, this phrase is actually giving us more information about the cats, that they are from the alleys. Cats that are hidden in the alleys. So they are from the alleys. So from the alleys, they are actually, this phrase is actually being used as an adjective. It means it is giving some information and it is describing our noun, which is cats. So in this way, we can call it an adjectival phrase. Let's look at some components over here. So what are the components of an adjectival phrase? How we can put together those different words so that we can make an adjectival phrase. Now, an adjectival phrase can consist of adjectives, adverbs, prepositions or prepositional phrases, articles, modifiers and or determiners. It means that in an adjectival phrase, be ready to see the adverbs. Adverb can be there, preposition can be there, like from the alleys. In the previous example, from the alleys, from is a preposition. Or you can see articles like the. In the previous example, the cat from the alleys chased the mice. So the was an article. So in a phrase, in an adjectival phrase, you can also spot an article, you can spot modifiers and determiners. So by using these, we can make a very good adjectival phrase and we can recognize and identify one easily. Now, the purpose of adjectival phrase, my dear learners, let me remind you, it is to actually modify and give more information about the noun or pronoun that are acting as subjects. Now, what if in a sentence we are dealing with multiple adjectives? There are multiple adjectives, words that are actually describing and giving information about our noun. There could be more than one, more than two or three. How do we deal with these different kinds of and different numbers of adjectives or multiple adjectives? Now there is an order that you need to follow. There's a chronological order. Now first you will use determiner, then the quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material and purpose. So 1, 2, 3, then size, age, shape, color, origin, material and this. Okay. Now, this is the correct order of using multiple adjectives in any sentence. First, you will mention the determiner, then the quantity, then the opinion. And if you do not follow this order, the sentence will be incorrect. The adjectives will not make any sense and they will not add any quality to the noun. Let's see two examples over here. The 5 young Japanese students have shifted here for the exchange program. Look, the 5 young Japanese. This is your determiner. Young is the quality, Japanese is the origin. So you have to follow this correctly or order in this manner, and if something is missing, for example, there's no quantity, there's just opinion, so you can just use this one and then this one or then this one, but you have to stay in that particular order. Another example is, I really loved your new pink Georgette dress. New pink Georgette. Let's see, pink is a color. Colors are also our adjectives. New is actually an adjective. It's telling that the quality is new. It is new. And then we are having the color and then the material. Now let's see. First, we talked about the quality in that example. Then we talked about color and then the material, right? So you are following the same order when we are dealing with different adjectives. All these new, pink, Georgette or 5 young Japanese, these are your adjectives. They are describing quality and giving information. So the correct order of using adjectives are done. I hope that you have understood it. So when we are writing adjectives in our sentences, you have to follow some rules. And let's see what those rules are. If an adjective phrase is positioned, it is at the start of a sentence, you will use a comma after the phrase. And if an adjective phrase appears in the middle of a sentence, make sure you enclose it with commas. So for the start, you have to use a comma after the phrase, and for the middle, you enclose it with commas. And if an adjective phrase is found towards the end of a sentence, you need not use any punctuation mark. One last point that you should know is that there can be more than one adjective phrase describing the same noun in a sentence. So these are some rules of using and dealing with commas when we are dealing with adjectives at the beginning, middle or at the end. So you need to be very much careful about your writing when you are writing and using adjectives. Now, till now, students, do you have any kind of issue or any problem, any question that you want to put forward? Is everything clear? All right, good. Okay, we have to read through the exercise given below and analyze it and identify the adjective phrase. So what are the adjective phrase in these different sentences? The boy in the red shirt is new here. This is our noun, in the red shirt. Red is our adjective, so it means this is our adjectival phrase. So you can find the rest of your, you can solve the rest of the questions by yourself. You can get this PowerPoint presentation, you can get this slide, or you can just Google different sentences with adjectival phrases and then solve them. It's very important that you practice solving these adjectival phrases. They are very important, and the more practice that you do, the more it will become easier for you to identify the adjectival phrases. Now, we are talking about adverbial phrases now. After we are done with adjectival phrases, let's talk about adverb first. So an adverb, what is it? It's a part of speech that is used to provide more information about the verb or the action in the sentence. That's why we call it adverb. Right? It's made up of two sentences. It is giving us more information about the verb. And adjective was giving us more information about the noun or pronoun. So this is the difference between an adjective and an adverb. It also has the property of describing the adjective or another adverb. So adverb, those words can also give information about adjectives or other adverbs. For example, she quickly finished her homework. Students, can you point out the adverb in the sentence? What is an adverb in this given sentence? Yes. This one? Is this one?
She.
Yeah. It's not she, it's quickly. Quickly. Adverbs are mostly ending with ly, so they are easy to recognize. She quickly finished her homework. Okay, finishing homework is an action, and quickly is telling us that the action is done very quickly, in a very quick manner. So it's actually describing and giving more information about our verb, and hence this is our adverb. Now, when we have adverb as a head word in a given phrase, in group of words, we call it adverbial phrase. Two or more words that perform the role of an adverb when they are putting together, they have been put together, can be identified as an adverbial phrase. Okay. So when the words are performing the work of an adverb, we put that together and this makes a adverbial phrase. So like an adverb, an adverbial phrase will also answer questions such as when, where, why, how, and how often. We will see these are the different types of adverbs. Our adverb of manner, place, time, and frequency. We will talk about it later. But the adverbs, the adverbial phrases, they are actually answering these important questions. Now, an adverbial phrase modifies or provides extra information about a verb, a phrase, an adjective, or any other adverb. It means it's very diverse. The adverbs are such diverse words that they don't actually explain verbs, but they also explain adjectives, they also explain any other phrase and verbs also at the end. Now, how do we make adverbial phrases? What are the components, elements of making them? So there is no particular rule that an adverbial phrase should definitely contain at least one adverb. Adverbs can be a part of the adverbial phrase. However, there are some components that constitute an adverbial phrase. They include, there would be nouns, pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, and articles. Now, these are the components. If we talk about one particular rule, there is none, and the adverbial phrase, it must have at least one adverb, one word that is acting as an adverb, that is explaining and describing any action, any verb. So this is just the plain rule, and they include all your nouns, pronouns, adjectives, prepositions, etc. Now when we are talking about answering these different kind of questions, it means that adverbs are of different kinds. Adverb of manner, time, place, reason, and frequency. Now, adverb of manner tells us that in what way, in what behavior or manner an action is being done. And that word which is describing the manner of that action, of that adverb, we call it adverb of manner. It's telling the mannerism. So let's see. In anger, like a snail, very quickly, somewhat sad. Quickly, if you remember, we seen it in the previous slide as an example. Now, dear learners, here quickly is telling us the manner. The manner is in a very quick, fast way, and slowly is also an adverb. It tells us that something is being done in a very slow manner. So all these adverbs, those words that are actually telling you about the manner of that action, they are your manner of adverbs of manner. And for time, it's telling you the time before, after, etc. The adverb of place is actually telling you where that action is. Right next to her, at every signal, next to the play area, around the main road. It's telling you about the location and the place. And adverb of reason is telling you the reason of doing that action. And adverb of frequency is actually telling you that how often and how frequently a thing is happening. Is it happening every month, every now and then, annually, all Fridays, every day? All these types of adverbs that are telling you about frequency, about the time period of, the frequent thing. So these are our adverbs of frequency. So manner, time, place, reason, and frequency. You have to memorize these different kinds of adverbs. They are telling you, they are answering different kind of questions. They're very important. You have to memorize this table, write it down, and learn it by yourself. Now, here are some adverbial phrases. You can take a screenshot, take a picture. If you're watching on YouTube, you can save the screenshot, and you will do this by your own. You will be using these in your sentences. Owing to the heavy snowstorms every alternate week, and very carefully right next to the overbridge, and until last year. Identify these adverbs, what kind of adverbs they are, and then use them in your sentences. Now, let's talk about prepositions. What are prepositions? Again, they are parts of speech. It's a part of speech, and it tells you the position. A preposition is a word. It can be a group of words used before a noun. It means you use them before a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase to show directions. They show you direction, time. They also show you place, location, spatial relationships, or to introduce an object. Some examples of the prepositions are given below over here. You have heard it. In, at, on, off, to, all these are prepositions. In is telling you the location, that something is, the cat is inside the box, or the cat is in the box, the book is on the table, or so these are your prepositional words. These are words that are telling you about the direction, time, place, location, spatial relationships, or they are just introducing an object. So when we are mixing them with other group of words and mixing them with phrases, they will become prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase is a combination of preposition, there will be a modifier, and its object. So preposition, modifier, and object. A prepositional phrase can be placed in the beginning, middle, or end. They can be positioned at any of the three positions of the sentence based on its role in that particular sentence. Prepositional phrases are just a part of the sentence. It modifies, and they cannot stand on its own. You have to use them. The word of, in, for, they can't stand on their own. Inside, outside, besides, you have to use them with other parts of speech in order to make sense. Now, let's see. This is when we are using prepositional phrase at the beginning, at the start of the sentence. After trying multiple times, Haritha finally cleared the equation. Now this part, students, this is our prepositional phrase. After is a preposition. Trying multiple times, these are just other group of words. They're coming together, serving with the preposition, and they are becoming prepositional phrases. And when you are using at the beginning, you will end it with comma. Before we start class, I would like to talk to you about something. Again, before is a preposition, and these are just your other group of words according to the new weather forecast. Again, same thing. Okay, so when we are using prepositional phrases in the middle of the sentence, let's say the girl in the second row is the one who has recently joined. In is a preposition, the is an article, second is it's a noun, so, and row is also a name. So the girl in the second row is the one who has recently joined. So we are sure that prepositional phrases can be used in the middle. The cafe on the 4th street has really good muffins. On is a preposition, the 4th street. Other group of words, it's a prepositional phrase. The man with the big mustache had come to the store this morning. With, again, it's a preposition, it's an article, this is an adjective, and this is a noun. So you can see that you can mix up these different words, different parts of speech with prepositional phrase in order to make with prepositions in order to make a prepositional phrase. You can use it at the start, at the middle, and also in the end. Okay, now we are done with all these three different types of phrases, starting with adjectival phrases. Then we moved on to the components of adjectival phrases. We saw different examples. Then we talked about adverbs, adverbial phrases, how they are made, and different kinds of adverbs like adverb of manner, time, place, frequency, and reason. Then we talked about prepositions and how we can use those prepositional phrases, mixing them with other nouns and adjectives, modifiers to make a prepositional phrase, and how we can use them at the start, at the middle, and at the end. So this was a quick overview of our whole lecture. You can watch this simulation video later on. It's very interesting that you watch it and learn more about it. The worksheet will be shared with you, students. You have to underline the phrases in the following sentences and also tell their types. What kind of phrases are they? Are they noun phrases? Are they adjectival phrases, adverbial phrases, or prepositional phrases? Now, noun phrases we will cover in some other lesson, or maybe we have covered it in the previous grade. These are phrases that have nouns. They're very simple. You can identify them. Now, just to check your understanding, and I'm giving you this as a homework, you have to identify the phrases in the following sentences and also state the type of phrase. So very quick and simple homework. Do not use any kind of help before doing it, and then only you can check your answers. Now, students, the question bank, a worksheet, skill sheet, PowerPoint presentation, these are attached with the description of the video on Chases Academy's main website. They are also shared on Chases Academy's YouTube channel where you're watching this video, and you can get it from the description. Thank you so much for listening. So I hope that everything is clear now. Do we have any question? Yes, Lukman.
Clear.
Everything clear? Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.